Today, I'm taking on the most daring, hilarious, and potentially awkward challenge yet. I'm going to break every single unwritten rule in America. That's right, those secret codes of conduct, the things everyone just knows you're supposed to do, but nobody ever writes down. I'm talking about the stuff that'll get you weird looks, awkward silences, and maybe even kicked out of a few places. This is Factual America, and we're about to find out what happens when you ignore the invisible rulebook. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's break some rules. First up, I'm heading to the elevator. You know the rule? Never talk to strangers, always face forward, and whatever you do, don't make eye contact. Well, I'm breaking all of them. I step in, turn around, and start chatting up everyone inside. Hey, how's your day going? Anyone got any weekend plans? The looks I get are priceless. Half confusion, half horror. One guy even pulls out his phone and pretends to text just to avoid me. Unwritten rule number 1, shattered. Next, it's time for some escalator mayhem. Everyone knows you stand on the right and walk on the left, but not today. I plant myself right in the middle, blocking both sides, and even start walking up the down escalator. People are sighing, rolling their eyes, and one lady gives me a death stare that could melt steel. Sorry, America, I'm on a mission. Now, let's talk about personal space. Americans love their bubble. So, I head to a coffee shop and sit down right next to someone, even though the whole place is empty. I see the panic in their eyes as they clutch their latte a little tighter. I lean in, start chatting about the weather, and watch as they slowly edge away. Mission accomplished. On to the next unwritten rule, never cut in line. So I stroll up to a busy food truck, give a big smile, and just slide right to the front. The crowd goes silent. Someone coughs. I hear a whispered, "Is this guy serious?" I apologize, of course, but for a split second, I feel the full force of American line etiquette rage. Now, it's time for some bathroom boundary breaking. The rule, always leave a buffer urinal. I walk into a restroom, pick the urinal right next to the only other guy in there, and strike up a conversation about the weather. He looks at me like I'm from another planet. I get it, man. Some rules should never be broken. Let's head to the movie theater. The unwritten rule here, never sit right next to a stranger if there are other seats available. So, what do? I buy a ticket, walk in, and plop down right beside the only person in an otherwise empty row. The guy glances at me, then at the sea of empty seats, then back at me. I offer him some popcorn. He's not amused. Now, let's talk about tipping. The expectation in America is you always tip your server. But what if you leave a weird tip, like a handful of coins, a foreign bill, or a thank you note? I try it out at a diner, and the server gives me a look that says, "Really?" Don't worry, I made it right after, but not before shattering the sacred tipping code. Onward to greetings. Americans love a good handshake or a polite, "How are you?" But what if you go in for a hug? Or worse, a double cheek kiss? I try it out at a meet and greet. The reactions range from surprised giggles to full-on recoil. Note to self: stick to handshakes unless you're in Europe. Next up, the grocery store. The unwritten rule, don't block the aisle with your cart. So I stop right in the middle, start checking my phone, and pretend not to notice the traffic jam forming behind me. The sighs are getting louder. The passive-aggressive "excuse me" is in full force, and I'm loving every second. Let's test the don't ask personal questions rule. In America, you're supposed to keep things light with strangers. No talk about money, politics, or religion. So I start asking the cashier, about their salary, their voting history, and what church they go to. The awkwardness is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Note to self, stick to how's your day. Now it's time to break the don't double dip rule at a party. I grab a chip, dip it, take a bite, and go right back in for round 2. The whole room goes silent. Someone gasps. I just smile and ask if anyone wants to join me. Let's take on the don't talk loudly on your phone in public rule. I walk through a quiet bookstore, phone on speaker, and have a conversation about my pet iguana's bathroom habits. People are glaring, someone shushes me, and the librarian looks like she's about to call security. Sorry, America. Just doing my job. Next up is the don't take the last piece rule. At an office meeting, there's one donut left. Everyone's eyeing it, but nobody grabs it. I swoop in, snatch it, and take a big bite. The room erupts in laughter and a little bit of envy. Let's try breaking the don't bring strong-smelling food rule. I heat up a big container of fish in the office microwave. Within minutes, the smell fills the room. People are fanning their faces, making jokes, and one person actually leaves. The power of unwritten rules is real. Finally, the don't overshare on social media rule. I post a blow-by-blow account of my day, complete with bathroom selfies and my deepest thoughts about socks. My followers are confused, amused, and maybe a little concerned. So, what did I learn from breaking every unwritten rule in America? First, these rules exist for a reason. They keep society running smoothly, help people feel comfortable, and prevent total chaos. Second, breaking them is a guaranteed way to get weird looks and awkward silences. And third, sometimes it's good to shake things up. Just don't be surprised if people think you're from another planet. If you enjoyed this wild social experiment, smash that like button, subscribe for more crazy challenges, and let me know in the comments. Which unwritten rule would you never break? This is Factual America, reminding you that sometimes the real adventure is just acting a little bit weird. See you in the next one, if I'm not banned from every elevator in town.